vaccination, it is always a tetravalent protection you are getting. You are getting a simultaneous protection against all 4 serotypes. And just to add on to Dr. Kukreja, that even after vaccination, there is a disease modifying effect which a vaccine causes. So even if there are breakthrough infections with vaccines, it was observed that the platelet count, the thrombocytopenia were milder. Those cases did not go into DHF, they did not had severe dengue. In fact, in Sri Lanka, the maximum, the platelet count was 1 lakh and the patient recovered within 3 or 4 days. So even post-vaccination dengue which occurs was manageable.
So Dr. Sabharwal wants to ask. Yeah,
this is exactly the question that I wanted to ask. Suppose a person has a natural infection and then we vaccinate him. So what is the likelihood of his developing reactions to the vaccine? I mean, how bad will it be?
So natural infection means he's already seropositive.
Yeah, he's seropositive, that's what I was asking.
So in seropositives, the vaccine has given a good efficacy and an equally good almost in seronegative.
I'm not talking about efficacy, I'm talking about the reaction. Will he have any
side effects?
The vaccine has been safe. Are you asking in terms of reactogenicity or safety?
Yeah.
Safety. Vaccine has been safe. There has been no incidence of any disease enhancements, any AD, any hospitalization, any deaths.
Safety till 4.5. Same in seropositives and seronegative. Whether it is seropositive or negative.
Dr. Sabharwal wanted to know was the child is already seropositive. If you are giving the vaccine,
more side
if
effects.
I have understood clearly, it means you are giving new antigens. The same phenomenon of ADE will occur or not?
It does not occur.
It doesn't occur.
See, we've seen that in our trials till 4.5 years. This vaccine is there in markets till 2022. So almost 3 years are over. So up till now we haven't seen, and that window of safety was 18 months to 24 months, which has been crossed both in clinical trials as well as real world setting, which is a reassuring signal. For not only for our vaccine, but for dengue vaccines, which might come later on.
Sir, what should be the minimal interval between after the infection, giving the vaccine?
6 months, as per US CDC, 6 months. You will have natural protection.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I'm just quoting what US CDC has said. So I'm quoting a reference with you. That's what it's mentioned in CDC.
Dr. Chitkara is expert opinion.
Expert opinion. And I'm sure you are part of that.
But you can add on, Dr. Chitkara. I don't have any. Can you have the mic, please, for Dr. Chitkara?
See, I just want to give a logical explanation. If I had dengue 2 today, I am protected against dengue 2 for quite some time because of the homotypic response. Now, once I recover from dengue, let's say 15 days, 2 weeks to 4 weeks, if I am given a vaccine, it is going to boost up against D2, and it is also going to provide me with the protection against D1, D3 and D4 or whatever it does. So, there should be no gap of 6 months. Why do I need gap of 6 months before I get prevented from D1, D3, D4 which did not occur to me?
So technically, what I can comment on this, that against the infective serotype you have a lifelong protection theoretically. Against the non-infective serotype, protection lasts for it could be from few months to few years. Nobody knows about that. So I have taken the CDC reference as 6 months to be on the safe side.
What I mean
but
by
it is your clinical perspective.
What I mean by expert opinion is, if you, Dr. Chitkara, take the hierarchy of evidence, the top is systemic review, meta-analysis. The lowermost ladder is filled by expert opinion.
So there are no studies in this population. That vaccinated population, you are given a vaccine and seen immunogenicity, there are no studies. So that is why we don't know exactly what should be there.
I think in the benefit of time, I'll just be quick with my next slides. So in adults, the immunobridging studies were done and we found that the results were similar to what we saw in the pediatric population. As far as safety aspects of this vaccine was concerned, it is favorable till 4.5 years. There's been no evidence of increase in disease severity, no risk of hospitalization, no deaths. In terms of tolerability, They were the local solicited and unsolicited adverse events were similar in both vaccine and placebo. This is the worldwide regulatory status of the vaccines, which you can see. Few more questions.
So before we say some facts, so it is going to be a 2-dose vaccine subcutaneously at 3 months gap.
Yes.
And recommended age from the company perspective, Takeda TAC 003 is any age, any child more than 4 years of
4 years and above,
and
there
above,
is no upper age
including
limit.
adults.
Yeah. So in adults, there is no upper age limit as per EMA. In the countries, Asian countries, Vietnam, Malaysia, Thailand, they've given a 4 years plus recommendation with no upper age limit.
And as we understand, as we keep on adding our ages, the chances of seropositivity will keep on increasing because you keep on getting some infections which may not be symptomatic also.
Yeah.
Seropositivity keeps on increasing as you increase your age. So
Yeah.
if you are using it little higher age, it's better, it's likely to be more protective.
might be the reason-
But again, for a vaccine to be maximally effective, it should be given at the age where disease burden and impact is
So that is
high.
something, that is why we're starting at 4 years.
Yeah.
Normally, most of the vaccines we have finished by 4. As a pediatrician, we are finishing most vaccines in the first 4 years of age. Very few are left. But this vaccine is starting at 4 because right now the study population is 4 years and above.
Yeah.
And that is why we feel that that is the age group which is more likely to be affected, and we have trials to show that it is likely to be protective.
Yeah.
I think the another argument is many countries decide whenever there is a highest number of admission at one particular age. For example, admissions in our country are around the age of 9 to 15 years. We get most admissions. So the age should be less than 2 years. That means 7 years or 6 years. For example, Brazil, they are giving between 10 to 14 years.
10 to 15 years, it is a part of their NIP. But in private sector, it is 4 years plus.
So
They don't have.
the vaccine is safe after 4 years. WHO says after 6 years. And,
Programmatic perspective.
Yes, and if you take it from this perspective, that when hospital admissions are most, you give it just 1 or 2 years before that.
But again, in the office practice, as a part
As
of,
Dr. Pankaj told you, it's convenient to reach the children up to 6 years. But I tell you, when the epidemic is going on or the outbreak is going on, children of all age group come to you.
yeah. But as a 4-year booster along with Tdap or
I was
DTaP.
trying to argue that 4 to 5 years will be good coup for us because people are coming to us for the other vaccines.
Yeah.
You can give at that time. But Dr. Sureja is saying that once dengue vaccine comes, they will come anyways to you.
Yeah,
So that's not a
that is-
In outbreak, they will come to you at all age groups.
And it's not that, it's actually a family vaccine with no upper age limit. And I believe anybody and everybody is at risk of dengue because still there is no clinical predictor. And that's my question to all the audiences over here. Can anyone tell me, is there a clinical predictor to decide which patient will get dengue, which patient will go into DHF, which patient will go into shock? At least I am not aware of.
I think it's very tough. I think WHO has given in 2009 good guidelines regarding danger signs. I think this is a very good criteria. If the patient comes early with a danger sign, I think it's very, very good. That's the reason the mortality in Delhi was, I think, 95 first time we had dengue. There were 10,000 cases in Delhi and there were 400 deaths. So this is not happening today. I think we are saving most of the children with our very strict protocol of management.
Yeah, so
Now we have understood the pathophysiology in a better way. The fluid therapy has mainstay in the management, which was not there for the main cause of death initially. So now we could understand and we are able to control many cases, death rate has come down. Definitely we have understood how the management part of it. That is the main reasons.
I think I agree with Dr. Puneet. It's very difficult to predict. For example, whenever the obese patient comes in my OPD, I'm really worried. Obese patient is a very high risk patient. They can really worsen fast. So whenever there's obese patient, you always tell them preferably get admitted. It's very tough. Sri Lanka admits all cases, I think.
yeah, so Sri Lanka has a different criteria. I mean, let's not go into that domain right now.
Yes. But I think we are already overwhelmed with our symptomatic cases. We can't admit all cases in our hospitals.
So basically the idea here is that recently I was in PGI Chandigarh. I had an interaction with Dr. Stanley Plotkin, who is said to be the father of modern vaccinology. And this is what my learnings from him and from stalwarts is: vaccination alone cannot be a silver bullet. It cannot be a magical pill. It always has to be given in conjunction with vector control, just for any other ID, vector control, serosurveillance, community awareness, and proper clinical management. So that triad or pentad is required, but then it would again be a very important part of your comprehensive algorithm for dengue management.
Because
But
vector
you should-
control will protect you against Zika, it will
Yeah.
protect you against yellow fever in the parts where it is endemic.
No, this vaccination
Then
is also
other
giving cross
Japanese
protection against.
encephalitis.
There are recent studies where showing dengue vaccine is giving cross protection against Zika, chikungunya as well. So, I mean, that is the only thing I can.
Developed countries are not talking about the vaccines because they don't have
Yeah.
the disease, because the vector control is there. They don't have the vaccine. Vector control has achieved so many things. So that remains definitely. But as all Delhites know that there's a rain for 1 hour and a lot of roads get choked because of water logging. So we are still far from that aspect, but yes, that is the optimum thing to do.
So that's it. I think. Any other questions from audience? Quick 1 or 2 questions which we can take. Okay, all clarified. So again, I would just, the other key
Thank
highlights.
you so much, sir. It is a very good discussion. But at the end of the day, we all should go with the idea that dengue, I think for another decade, cannot be taken as one of the